The defining moment is the moment you realize the power within you is the greatest power in the universe. When the revelation of being more than a conqueror hits your awareness, you're ready to attack everything that comes your way. The defining moment is when you use your brilliant mind and bring it into subjection with your spirit. The moment you understand the only thing that is holding you back is you. The limits on your life are lies your fear has sold you. Believe your beliefs. He who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. The defining moment is when you're not counting the days, but making the days count. When your language changes from have to get to, from a chore to a privilege, because you know God called and equipped you to do it. When you recalibrate what's important to you and go out every day determined to win rather than determined not to lose. The defining moment is knowing that the input into your mind determines your output, so renew your mind daily and focus on things that are true, noble, and pure. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Turn your history into His story. The defining moment is when you run your race with intentionality and go to your edges so your edges expand. No one has ever gone blind by looking at the bright side of life. When you have peace moment by moment because you've surrendered to God's infinite understanding of your process. When you plant your roots deep down wherever He has you because you know as you steward correctly, He will promote you in due season. The defining moment is when you choose to do the difficult thing when you don't want to. Your path must teach you and not beat you. Discipline yourselves and others won't need to. When you use the boulders of adversity to build the steps of your greatness. The defining moment is when you live totally free from the unjust expectations of others and free from the grip of the comparison trap. When you realize unforgiveness is like drinking poison, expecting it to affect the other person. When you lose, don't lose the lesson. When you fail, fail forward. Know that failing at something does not make you a failure. Every day is a brand new day. The defining moment is being surrounded by people, but solely living for the one who created all people. That attitude determines your altitude. Your mind determines where your brain goes. Your brain can change and is flexible, so rewire your brain to have an unshakable mindset. The defining moment is when you realize God made you perfect and unique for a reason. When you gain your significance from what God says about you rather than rising by someone's praise and dying by their criticism. The defining moment is when you realize perception is reality and choose to live through the lens of God rather than the lens of man. Whatever you dwell upon grows. When you realize each day is non-refundable. When you stop being so busy making a living you forget to make a life. When you stop working for a job you hate and use the power in you to create the life you want and desire. The defining moment is knowing that we are all just dust in the wind. One day we're here and another day we're not. The only thing that remains is what you contributed to the world and fellow man. What you get in this life dies with you. What you give to life lives on forever. The defining moment is when you no longer wait for another glorious hero to emerge and lead us from darkness into his marvelous light, and you actually become that hero. This is your defining moment right now. God, in His infinite understanding, made this video and created these words just for you. This one found you. It's part of God's divine plan for this message to be brought to you right now, in this moment, not a minute sooner, nor a minute later. This is your time. You heard these words by divine intervention because this is your defining moment.